Hello crafty friends, Valeria here from Chasing Paper, and today I thought I'm going to make a glue review video. In this video I'm going to talk about different types of glue and how I use them for my junk journaling creations. If you're a beginner in junk journaling, this is going to be very helpful to you because when I first started this adventure a few years ago, my main questions were about the adhesives and which glue should I use, and there seemed to be so many different products on the market and I just did not know which glue is the best and which one should be used for, different projects. So I thought this video will review in one place, in one sitting, all the main glues on the market, all the ones that junk journalers mostly used. I think that covers it all. First, full disclosure, I am not sponsored by any of these brands or by any of the stores. I am just going to share with you my honest personal experience and I will tell you what I like. Okay, I'm not paid by anyone, so I have the freedom to do so. I am going to show you two different products that are not glue, but you need them when you're going to work with glue. That's what I found through my personal experience. And both of these actually came from Dollar Tree. This first one is a chopping mat. Well, what does a chopping mat have to do with the glue, you might want to ask? I'll show you. So this chopping mat is made of kind of heavy plastic, heavy clear plastic, and this is wonderful. When you're going to work with glue, if you want to avoid having a mess, just put this down and it's really easy to wipe it off later on with a Clorox wipe or just a wet paper towel, and that's it. The mess is gone and your workplace and your cutting mat, your table is going to remain clear. And this second product also came from the same place, from a Dollar Tree. This is a glue eraser. Here's I have one that's already been opened and I've been using it for a while. This one came from a craft store. This one came from a Dollar Tree. The difference is in price only. It's exactly the same thing. They work exactly like they're supposed to work. As you get glue on your paper, and if you don't want to have those glue smudges, just simply erase with this eraser like that and it works. Magically, all of a sudden your glue smudges, they disappear. Now, as your eraser gets dirty, all you have to do is snip it with your scissors and ta-da, you have a clear area, you can work again. So these are two products I wanted to share before I get to our glue review. So the first glue I'm going to talk about is Scotch Create glue stick. This is my favorite glue, and I would say that I probably use it 85% of the time when I'm working on my junk journals. This is a really sticky white glue stick. It dries clear, and again, it is really sticky. This is what I love about that. It's not messy, so as opposed to some liquid glues, and anytime I need to adhere just a flat paper embellishment to paper, this is my go-to glue. So let's grab a piece of paper and some embellishment, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to just have it done with this little glue stick right here. There, that's it. No muss, no fuss. My embellishment is attached. There, all done, and guess what? It's a very strong hold. It's not going to fall off in a few days or even in a few years. I can tell you that because I've been doing this for a while now. And I also use this glue stick to give a little stronger hold to my washi tapes. If you have any old washi tapes that maybe lost their stickiness, just run it across the top of your glue stick before adhering it to paper. That works. The important thing to remember about using this glue stick is that you do have to keep it closed when you're not using it. Okay, so don't forget to put that cap back on, otherwise it dries out, turns rubbery, and it's not going to work anymore. The next one on my list is the Art Glitter Glue. That's the glue with the mysterious name. When I first started my junk journaling journey, I was really surprised because I kind of expected that Art Glitter Glue would have glitter in it. No, not so. There is no glitter. Art Glitter is just a brand name and the glue is the product name. So there you go. That's how we came up with Art Glitter Glue. The mystery is now solved. This is a wet white glue that's kind of similar to PVA glue. It's a glue that's used for paper. So paper to paper is what you use it for. The good thing about this glue is a super thin applicator at the end right here. It comes with a pin that you're supposed to insert in the little nozzle. And that super thin applicator is really what makes this whole product shine. Whenever I need a glue for my project that requires just a really thin line of glue, this is the one I go to. Let me show you what I mean, in what situation I could possibly use it. So let's say I'm making a pocket. So I'm going to turn this little card here into a pocket. So I am going to use my Art Glitter Glue and run just a thin, can you see it? Just a thin little line along the edge right here. I'm going to make it an L-shaped pocket. So I can tuck something in there, and I'm placing it down, and basically that's it. It has a very strong hold and it dries fast. So you have a couple of seconds to reposition it, but it's about it. Once it dries, it's already dry. So there you go. It's very important to keep this glue closed when not in use, just like any glue. But it's especially important with this one because, like I said, it dries so fast and the nozzle is so thin that it's going to clog almost immediately if you do not put that pin back in. So don't lose the pin that it comes with and keep it closed when not in use. Also, make sure to work with this glue in a well-ventilated area. Although it does not smell, like it doesn't have any strong odor to it, but it does have a warning, that P65 warning on it. There, if you could see the label. So you want to make sure to work in a well-ventilated area always. And now let's see. So our pocket, our L-shaped pocket is now dry. And let's say I wanted to tuck in this postcard. It works perfectly well. There, it's already done. So very easy and good to use in your junk journal. The next glue on my list is everyone's favorite Fabry Tech. This is a clear silicone glue that works paper to paper, paper to fabric, or fabric to fabric. This is a very versatile product, and whenever I need to attach fabric to anything in my projects, this is the glue I'm going to use. I do not typically use it for paper only because I find it to be messy. That's true. You have to kind of, the nozzle here does not provide a very thin line of glue, so which is why a lot of crafters transfer them into a different bottle with like a thinner nozzle. So whenever I need to attach fabric to any paper in my project or any cardboard, or whenever I need to add lace or any fabric trim, this is the glue I'm using. So let me demonstrate really quick. I'm going to attach this piece of cotton fabric to the paper right here. And so this is why it could get aggravating with this glue. Like I said, it works great, but it gets so thick that it takes forever to get it out of the bottle sometimes, and which is why a lot of times crafters store it upside down. So I'm going to use a different bottle with the same glue, just because I do not wish to wait 2 minutes while it gets out. So there, I'm putting a little bit of glue right here. And this is the glue that you always want to spread, because otherwise it's going to bleed through your fabric and it's going to be visible on your face of the fabric. I am using this little piece of foam. You can use literally anything. Some people like to use their finger. I do not like that. Some people use a little piece of cardboard. Sometimes I do that. It doesn't matter what you use, as long as you can just carefully spread the glue so it kind of lays flat against your cardboard or against your paper, whatever you glue in your fabric to. And there, just gently pat it into place. It dries pretty fast, not as fast as our art glitter glue, but it dries fast. And it does give it a very strong hold. So that's very good. What else I can use it for? Like I said, I could add lace or other textile embellishments. As long as it's textile, the glue is good. So again, I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. That's probably too much. But it comes out in a strong stream. And there, I am applying my lace. And I know I'm going to have a very strong and good hold. There. Always make sure to close it promptly, like any other glue. Now, a reminder, this glue is very flammable, so make sure you don't have any burning candles in your studio, you're not smoking, anything like that, no sources of fire. And another thing to note, it does have a very strong smell. So if you are smell sensitive, maybe this glue is not for you, okay? And again, I recommend working in a well-ventilated area. So let's go back to our fabric. Let me bring it a little closer, and it's very strong. See, I'm pulling on it. I could probably still pull it off if I really tried hard, but I can already feel that the bond is already strong. Now, if you leave it alone for a few hours and let it cure overnight, you will not be able to pull that off, I'm sure. It's a really good strong glue. Here's where I used it in this project. So if you can see this junk journal that I have in my hands, it has a fabric covered hardcover. So this hardcover has been entirely covered with this Fabry Tech in order to adhere this upholstery fabric onto my hardcover. And then embellishments, I use that same glue as well. All these fabric embellishments, that's thank you to Fabry Tech. Okay, so that's how I use it. Next, our good old friend, the Mod Podge. Now, Mod Podge has been out there forever. It's like everybody's old friend. Everybody tried it at least once, right, in our lifetime. Mod Podge is great. Speaking of just application of Mod Podge in junk journaling, honestly, I don't use it all that often. Why? Because it's basically a wet white glue, kind of like PVA glue, only more liquid, I would say. And it does warp your paper, okay? As it dries, your paper is going to get warped. So, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a good application in junk journaling world. Here's what I use it for. For example, this cover in this junk journal was made with Mod Podge. Now, how did I do it? So I used the little golden book. I removed the good chipboard cover, from it. And then I used a page from a Vintage Ideals magazine in this case to adhere it with Mod Podge onto my strong base, which was my chipboard book cover. Okay, so in cases when you have something strong and thick to adhere it to, that's great. So you could adhere paper with Mod Podge to your cardboard base, to a chipboard base, or another way I use it is I'm attaching images to these wood plaques. So this is how thick it is, about 1/4 of an inch thick. This is wood. And so what I do, again, I use Mod Podge to attach the image onto it. And this junk journal, you can see this little plaque on the cover. It was made using Mod Podge. Again, a paper from a page from a vintage magazine, and one of these wool plaques that I just showed you. And it's really creating very nice effect and a very nice design. So now Mod Podge, of course, comes in several different finishes. I just have 2 classic versions here, Mod Podge Gloss and Mod Podge Matte. Depending on the effect you want to choose your Mod Podge carefully, because Mod Podge Gloss obviously is going to be shinier. Mod Podge Matte is not going to be as shiny. And so what you would typically do, you would pour it into a smaller container, and then you would use a brush to dip it into your container with Mod Podge, and then you would use that brush to spread the Mod Podge onto your cardboard or wood. Then you would apply your paper, and then you would put another layer or 2 of Mod Podge on top of that to make sure that you have a nice, strong, secure hold. So again, this is a great product, but I wouldn't use it on any thin paper unless you're okay with it being warped. So great, moving on to our next item on our list. And that's Aline's Original Tacky Glue. This is the glue that I use to apply my embellishments to basically anything. Now, I know some people are using or trying to use Fabry Tech to attach their embellishments with mixed results. This glue is really not designed to attach plastic or wood to anything. This is strictly for paper and fabric. So whenever you have buttons or any kind of other plastic decorations, this is the one you would probably want to use. So, for example, if I wanted to attach one of these old rhinestone buttons to my junk journal, let's see, I'm not going to attach it for real, but I'm just going to show you what I mean. I would use this glue. Yep, this is the glue I would use. Same goes for any plastic buttons, or maybe pearls, or different metal embellishments. Maybe you have broken jewelry, broken earrings that you want to use in your artwork right here. You would work well with this glue. This is the Original Tacky Glue, and it says Premium All-Purpose Adhesive. So that's basically what it is. It's an all-purpose. I also use it to apply metal corners onto my books. So these metal corners right here, before I put them on, I also put a dab of that same glue inside to make sure that they're not going anywhere and they assure a very strong hold. Now, in the past, for this kind of projects, I used to use E6000 glue. Not gonna lie, I was very happy with the way that glue was holding my things together. But after reading the label carefully, I found out that it was rather toxic and, you know, with harmful vapors. And I'm really trying to cut down on the use of products with that type of warnings and, you know, with the harmful vapors. So if that bothers you, make sure to read the label. And again, always work in a well-ventilated area when you work with any kind of glue or adhesive. And the last glue to mention is Tumble Mono Liquid Glue. Okay, I do not use this glue all that much. It's not because I'm not happy with it. It's a fine glue. So it's a clear glue, but it basically does the same thing that Scotch Create glue does and Art Glitter glue. And so I already have my two favorite products. I know some people are trying to use it to adhere fabric to paper. That's, the results are mixed with that. That's not what it's really designed for. If you read the manufacturer's direction here and label, so it basically says it's ideal for paper, photos, poster board, etc. So no mention of textiles. So it will give you some kind of a hold on your textile if you really need to use it in a pinch. But if you had a choice, I would rather use Fabry Tech for that. Now, the really good thing about this glue and what I like about it is its dual tip. So it has a wide tip. Let's see if I can open it on this end. So that's pretty wide, so it's easy to use on a larger area. And the other tip is tiny and small. So that's very precise, and that's kind of what I like about my Art Glitter glue. The good precision. So it does have its own pros. The cons is the reason I don't use it all that much is because it's rather pricey. You don't get a whole lot of glue for the money. And because I'm making so many junk journals and I'm using so much glue, it's probably would be cost prohibitive for me to use it all the time. Other than that, I have no complaints about its quality. So what do you think, friends? Which one is your favorite glue? Which kind do you like to use? Let me know in the comments. And I really hope that you found this video helpful. Maybe you refreshed your knowledge about these glue products, or maybe you saw some new different type of glue that you hadn't used yet. So please let me know in the comments, and please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it with a friend, and please subscribe to my channel if you didn't already subscribe. This is really going to help my growing YouTube channel so that I can continue sharing my fresh paper crafting ideas with you and this type of reviews, product reviews. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.